Everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today I'm going to be testing out ABH's Brow Freeze, and I'm also going to show you some other products that I picked up as well. Alright, welcome back everyone. Today I have a little mini haul, mini product review testing video for you guys, but the main focus of this video is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze product. I really haven't seen any YouTube videos on it, like at all, but as somebody that really needs help in the brow department, as you'll see in a couple of minutes, I'm excited about any brow product, to be honest. My brows are very wiry, coarse, thin, sparse. So I have mostly pencil that makes up my brows, and I feel like I lose a lot of like the definition true brow look because I have to fill so much of my brows in. So when I saw this come out that's supposed to be more powerful than any brow gel, I was like, all right, I'm interested because I want that texture in my brows to have it look like it's not all fake and like completely drawn on. So as much as I've been enjoying gel, I was really excited to see this. So this has been on my list since it released. It was sold out for quite a while. And then I also finally ran out of my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. There was no more product wanting to squirt out of this, and I was kind of angry about it because I'm like, there's still some in there. But I purchased that in August of 2019, and it is April of 2021. So this lasted me such a long time. I do use it every time I do my makeup. Granted, in the last year, I was doing my makeup maybe once a week, if that. But this product really does last a long time. I barely even use a full pump. I have dry skin, so it's a gripping primer, so product is gonna stick, but it also hydrates me, especially with all the layers of makeup. I don't feel like my face is really dried out, so I definitely think like this is worth the price. I think it's $38 or something, so it's a little bit pricey, but it lasted me almost 2 years, so I can't really complain about that. So I picked that up, and then March was my birthday month, so I picked up my birthday gift, and I chose the Nars Laguna gift set. So I have a bronzer and a lip product, so I'm going to test those out in the video so you guys can get an idea of what they look like as well. So before I ramble on any further, let's go ahead and get into the brow demonstration portion of this video. Here is a before of my brows. If you guys follow me at all, I always do like a really light outline before I do my makeup just because it really helps me map out my face. So I just have a very fine pencil outlining my brow. I don't have it filled in at all. And then just to show you, my brow hair is pretty wiry. I haven't trimmed my brows in a couple of weeks, so we will see how ridiculous this product makes it. I mean, these are going to be sticking so far up. You can see I have very sparse brows, very wiry brow hair. So when I fill my brows in, because I have so much to fill in, I do lose a lot of the texture and a lot of the hair-like look to it. So I'm interested to see how this product is going to add a little bit more definition and 3D look back to my brows. So I just wanted to show you before I fill them in with the pencil, this is what they look like. Here are my brows filled in with pencil, and the pencil I've been loving lately is a CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I use the shade Soft Brown, so it's pretty much a dupe for the ABH pencil, I have to say, and it's not going to cost you $23. This is still like the GOAT for eyebrow pencils, but this is a pretty good, cheaper drugstore option. So now that we have that in, I'm like getting nervous and excited to test out this product. The packaging on this looks very luxe. It's also very mirrored, so. In here is what the product looks like. It just has some texture on it. I'm interested to like, that is so sticky. It is so tacky. Like, this is pretty much going to be like putting glue on your brows, I think. I've heard that there is a learning curve with it. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, like I said earlier, so I don't really know what I'm doing. There is a demonstration video on ABH's Instagram. It looks like they want you to take the product out separately and then use your brush. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to dip my spoolie right in. Because it looks like they came out with a separate product and applicator to use the brow freeze. And then they want you to spread it on the lid. It looks like you just evenly coat the spoolie. Make sure you don't have a lot of excess product. And then it looks like you would just apply it.
From the middle, the highest point of my eyebrow towards the end, because I have more product and I want to control that. I'm able to spread the brow freeze all over my eyebrows. And you will see that the eyebrow already start going up and it doesn't move. Then I take the puddle and
press it.
I will press exactly the area where I want to fill in my eyebrows, where I'm missing hair.
So this would have been good to use before, but I just wanted to start with a full face of makeup just to see how it goes that way. But what I did see Norvina take like that at like the cap and like press it down, so you can also use that if the cap is clean. This is dirty, so let me wipe it clean really fast. I was actually doing that for a moment with their brow gel. I do really like their brow gel a lot. Again, it's just their products are so expensive. And that kind of helped flatten it out, but I'm interested to see how this goes. Okay, so that seems like a lot. So what I'm going to do is just use the back of my hand and I'm gently rubbing the spoolie so it's all coated and it's not as chunky. Okay, that was out of focus, sorry. So let's see how this goes. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Wow, it already feels like my hairs are glued into place. So I'm glad I started at the mid-brow like she suggested. As you can see, it's looking a little chunky, so I'm gonna run it through with a different spoolie. I'm gonna scrape off even more product onto my hand. So this is definitely one of those products where it seems like you need the absolute bare minimum. Very similar and reminiscent to Dip Brow, where too much is like terrifying. Wow. I knew my brow hair was going to be long because I hadn't cut it in a few weeks. I didn't think it would be that long. So right now I'm just trying to really comb through and I'm just getting the brow hair. I'm not trying to press the product onto my skin since I do have my makeup on already. So I'm just really trying to coat the brow hairs. And then whatever is left, I'm just kind of lifting and spinning. A very similar technique to how I apply mascara. This is so interesting. I couldn't even get my brows to stand up this much with soap brows. I'm shook at this. I will say, I think I did see Manny demonstrate this in one of his videos, and when he used a product, it looked like it did make his brows like a shade lighter, because I think he used it as a final step. I could be wrong. So I'm gonna come back and demonstrate with you guys like how this looks without any like product on and filling my brows in afterwards. But I'm surprised that it's standing up so straight. I'm obviously gonna trim them, but so here is the difference between the brows that are actually sticking straight up and what my normal brow looks like. Yeah. Oh my God. I definitely feel like this side is more droopy and this side kind of does look like I got a little bit of a facelift there. So I'm really impressed with this. I'm excited to do the other one now. So again, I'm going to pick up even less product and just zhuzh it around on the back of my hand. This is what I'm literally doing to make sure the wand is coated. My brow hairs grow so unevenly, but I purposely didn't trim them because I was like, these are really gonna stick up, so like I can see where I need to trim them. So don't worry if this is like irking you right now, I'm definitely trimming them. I just can't believe this. This literally feels like glue on my hand as it's starting to dry. Okay, so this is what the product looks like now after I applied it. It looks worse than what it is. I barely dipped into it, so I can see this product lasting me like a very, very long time. So this is what my brows look like. I'm definitely impressed. Like, I really feel like I have a lifted effect, which is a nice bonus to this. So I'm gonna give this a minute to dry down. I'm gonna trim my brows. Good morning, I am back. It is the next day. I am here to try the brow product on my clean, sparse brows. So you guys can really see what I'm not working with here. So that is why my brows are mostly pencil. So I'm gonna see what this does on its own and then fill it in that way. I feel like I'm still gonna do my outline though, just to give me that guide. Like, I need that guide because this is like, what is this? I don't know. And I just want to add a quick tidbit. I was chatting with a friend last night and she was saying that she heard that it's really no better than using like a soap brow with glycerin in it. And I actually don't think I've tried bar soap with glycerin in it. The only soap brow that I've used is a Dr. Bronner soap, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't have glycerin in it. So to answer any possible questions, I don't know. Based off of that, I did think that it was a lot easier to work with, a lot quicker, and it held up just the same, if not better, than the brow soap with Dr. Bronner's. That's the only one that I can really speak to experience with. I was surprised at how well it actually worked, because with the gel, it works, but then once it dries down, it kind of like deflates a little bit. And I will say that throughout the day, I did feel like it kind of deflated a little bit, but not too much. So I feel like it overall, it held up really well. Someone that has super thick, luscious brows, I don't know how the product would work for you, if it would hold up or not, but for me and my sad brows, it worked pretty well. Okay, I just like to do this so I have some guidance on where and how to fill my brows in with them looking cohesive. I feel like if I can get them looking pretty even off the bat before I put any makeup on, then I'm good. I'm just going to use the same technique I did yesterday. I'm gonna pick some up on the spoolie and then just massage the product in on the back of my hand. See, it's just like with one stroke, those hairs are already sticking up. Let me see if I can zoom in more. Like, I barely had to put any pressure on it, and you can already see the difference between my two brows. And again, I'm just doing very light motions. I'm also not trying to press this onto my skin. I'm just trying to roll it through the brow hairs. So that is the difference in my two brows after using the product. So it definitely looks like I have a lot more to fill in on this under area right here. This brow hair is definitely more stubborn. It all wants to lay like that and doesn't really like flicking up even with soap brows. Now, they do recommend also pressing the hairs down. It just really feels like you're gluing the hairs to your to your face. I don't love that feeling. I guess it's supposed to help with the longevity of it. Now, I have a feeling once this sets down, it's going to be difficult to get in there with pencil. That was kind of like my thought behind it, why I did the pencil first when I tested this product out yesterday. So we'll see. And I don't know if you can tell, but it almost looks like there's a slight film on the brow hairs. So that's why I feel like it would be good to follow up with like a tinted brow gel. But then at the same time, it's like, how many products are you supposed to be loading on just your eyebrows? So what I'm going to do is make myself some coffee, give this a chance to set into place, and then we'll come back to fill it in. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, in natural lighting in the bathroom, it doesn't look that bad. Here with studio lights, it's like, okay, my brows definitely look like they need some help. But in the natural lighting, it didn't look that bad. It looked like I would only have to maybe fill in a little bit on the underneath area, but it looked pretty fine with no makeup. The lights just are really reflecting everything bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly fill in with a pencil. So we'll zoom in a little bit more. And this is what the brows look like after they set. So you can kind of see with this one, it started to flap a little bit instead of sticking up. These hairs are just so stubborn though, so I don't really hold that against the product. I was also expecting this to be super stiff because that's kind of how it is when I use the gel. It's super stiff trying to go in with a pencil, and I'm talking about the ABH brow gel because I do really like that brow gel. It worked pretty well. I would say like that's also pretty comparable to soap brows, but buying a bar of soap is a lot less expensive than the $25 brow gel, just saying. It also feels like the hairs maybe haven't fully dried with the gel on, even though it's been about 5 minutes. So there's still that flexibility to get the pencil in there. All right, so in my little mirror, this brow is looking pretty good and pretty filled in. Again, on camera, it's looking a little bit more intense. But in person, it is looking good. I feel like maybe right down in here is where I need a little bit more. There we go, that is looking a lot better. So I feel like this brow definitely looks like it has texture. It looks like it has actual brow hair, which is what I said earlier in the video. It just looks kind of blocky when I fill it in when I do a full beat, but this natural brow is actually looking pretty nice. So I'm gonna fill the other one in and be right back. Okay, so we are back and the brows are both filled in. This is always my nicer looking brow, like in person. And this one is the one that gives me problems. But I think that my brows look pretty good. They look more natural, which is great for me because normally when I go out and about, I'm not really wearing makeup, or if I am, I'm wearing like the slightest bit to cover up the redness on my face. But at this point, I accept the redness on my face and it doesn't really bother me that much. My brows are still my biggest insecurity. So yeah, I really like how it looks like they're just nice, textured, fluffy looking brows. I saw someone review this on Instagram stories that said that they no longer need to go and get their brows laminated because they said that this gave the same effect. So I was always curious about getting my brows laminated and wondered how it would look with my sparse brows, and now I kind of have an idea of how that would look. So let's give you a little bit of a zoomed out perspective of my brows. I still feel like you can see the texture of the hair. So I feel like if you're going for a very natural, no makeup, but I have no brows look, this product could be really helpful for you. So let me know in the comments down below, have you tried it or would you consider trying it? It's $18, but I feel like you don't use that much product, so I feel like this is gonna last me a long time, so we will see. Okay, so we are back with the eyebrows trimmed and I am really liking how this product looks. I feel like on camera, or at least on my monitor, it's reading like, it looks kind of like gluey or chunky almost, but it doesn't look like that in person. Like in person, it looks very smooth and just lifted. Like, I don't know why it's, especially like over here, I don't know why it's reading like that on camera. But in person, it looks different. So now I'm just going to use my very generous birthday gift from Nars. This is their Laguna Bronzer. I haven't worn this in years. Like, this takes me back to when I first started getting into makeup. I had the little trio. Very powdery. I had the little trio that was the Nars Orgasm Albatross Highlight and Laguna Bronzer, and it was my favorite little thing. I was like, ooh, this is such a splurge, but it really made sense to me because I had all three things in one little compact and it lasted me such a long time. But I never really repurchased because that's when things in the beauty industry really started exploding, and everyone was coming out with new products. So I was always testing out other things. So I haven't been back to revisit these in years. And that looks gorgeous. I mean, it's so pretty. I was really hoping I wouldn't like this more than my Physicians Formula bronzer, because I do love the butter bronzer. It's lasted me for years. That's like the bronzer I've been fixated on because I just like using products until I don't have any more. But this might be a contender for when that runs out. I might have to splurge on this because it really is so nice. Honestly, if they still made that trio, I would just get that again. It was such a good trio. I think it was only $35 too. And you got almost a full pan of the bronzer, a really large portion of the blush, and then like the highlight was like the little skinny part in the middle. It's like a little Neapolitan ice cream. Ugh, this is just so good. It just blends so nicely. I'm gonna have to clean up a little bit with some setting powder, but I am loving this bronzer. I'm just like, what is this? Like, can we not give sample sizes out? Like, I remember, I'll say this probably every year I get a birthday present from Sephora, but back in the day, they had actual legit nice products. I got a whole like 12 pan full size eyeshadow palette, and it was like Sephora brand, but it was really good. It was one of my favorite palettes for years. And now you get this and this. Like, they couldn't even throw in a full size lip product. Like, come on. All right, so now let's take this bronzer on the nose. So that was nice. I'm gonna put some blush on. And since I'm doing a powder blush, I'm gonna reach for Lunar Beauty. And I'm probably just gonna do a combination of Stargaze and Pink Moon. That is my go-to. I really love these blushes. Again, this isn't a product that I normally purchase a lot of because I just like to not have an abundance of makeup that's sitting around. And I love that there's 6 blushes in here, so I know I'm set for a while having a variety to choose from. Again, in person, it's reading a lot more than on camera. Like, I'm really piling it on to try to see if you guys can see it on camera. But these blushes are super, super nice. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend. I can't wait to purchase more things from Lunar Beauty. I really want the Halloween palette. I forget what it's even called. Is it called like Moonspell or something? That palette, like all of his palettes look really nice, to be honest. And then I'm just going to take whatever is left on my nose. And then I also like to take the little leftovers on top of where I bronzed. So now to clean up the bronzer a little bit, what I'm going to do is just take some setting powder and just kind of cut it at an angle. And then we can work on blending it all out so it's not so harsh. There we go. And since we threw it back with Laguna, I'm going to throw it back to my Mary Lou for a little bit of highlight, a little bit of glow. I already have on under the, what is it called? Enlighten? Is that the shade? Yes, Enlighten Liquid Highlight by Rare Beauty. So this is just going to be a nice little reinforcement on top, and then whatever is left, I'm just going to hit my bow, my Cupid's bow and nose. I feel like I'm ready for summer now. Lastly, I have this lip product to try. This is their Afterglow Blonde. I absolutely love this. I got a full-size one. That's why I'm like, why couldn't you just give a full-size one? I got this full-size one in a sample kit of lip products from Sephora, and this is in the shade Orgasm. So I love this. That's been so lovely to use. Haven't gotten much use out of it though since we're wearing masks. But they sent the Laguna version in with the birthday gift. So let's see how this is going to apply and look. Ooh, I like that a lot. It's more low-key. Like this has like the teeniest bit of a pink tinge to it, because that's all it really is like a slightly tinted moisturizing lip balm. So it kind of ties into like that beachy sun-kissed look. So I do really like this. I just think that the sizes are kind of BS. Like this is what I can buy with my points. Why, I just feel like for a birthday gift, like come on, like at least have one of the products be full size, you know? What are your thoughts on the Sephora birthday gifts? Maybe it's just because I'm old school and I know they used to give legit full size products and eyeshadow palettes out, so I'm just still bitter over it. But let me know your thoughts on it down below. What did you guys think of these products? Is a brow freeze something that you would be interested in trying? Let me know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you aren't already. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.